Hello and welcome to my very first video on this channel. Today we are going to take a look at this bolt action Soviet HQ set from Warlord Games. I haven't seen anyone on the internet review these miniatures, so I thought I might as well give it a go myself. Models come in a standard Warlord Games blister pack, nothing special, but the miniatures inside do look quite interesting. So let's open up the box, stop talking, and take a closer look. As you can see, the set consists of 4 miniatures made out of white metal and 4 bases. I believe this set is a re-release of Warlord Games' Soviet Command set, as the latter only had 3 figures and this one has 4. So thank you very much Warlord Games for adding a bonus figure. So let's look at this figure first. In his very dynamic pose, I believe this is Warlord Games' representation of a very iconic Soviet World War II photograph depicting junior commissar or platoon commissar Yeremenko leading his troops and rallying them to attack. Sadly, Yeremenko was killed a couple of minutes after the photograph was taken, legend has it. But the pose really represents, I assume, the way most officers rallied their men to charge. So, very interesting pose. You can see he is wearing the Pilotka side cap. He has some binoculars. He's waving his TT-33 pistol in the air very heroically. And also he has a PPSH-41 submachine gun slung on his back, which will be very handy in the game, because as you probably know, in bolt action you do not have to pay extra to arm your officers with better weapons. Kind of whatever's depicted on the model, that's what you can use in combat. That's how it works, which is very handy. So yes, the flash on this guy is just a bit there, which will cut off later between his trousers and barrel of his PPSH-41. And mold lines are very minimal, nothing you can't easily remove with a hobby knife, like this. Okay, next figure. I believe this figure depicts an officer of a higher rank, so perhaps
senior lieutenant, which is the Soviet equivalent of a first lieutenant in the British or American army.
Or a captain or major. Pointing here, he's wearing his peaked cap, which more senior Soviet officers would wear, and he's armed with a pistol, although I might give him an SMG later, from the plastic Soviets box set. Again, this guy's flash is minimal, the sculpting's great, the expression on his face is particularly cool. He's shouting there, looks quite confident, if you can focus, yep. An interesting thing to note is that he is wearing the M35 tunic, but it has shoulder boards, which is a minor historical inaccuracy, because although there are historical photos depicting Soviet troops in M35 tunics with shoulder boards, that was very rare to see on the field, so I'll probably cut off his shoulder boards later, so he can be used in my early to mid-war sort of Soviet army themed around the Battle of Stalingrad. So yes, this guy also has a map case, which is quite cool as well. Oh yes, and also if you see here, point more sort of precisely, this guy actually has quite a few medals, 2 sort of stars I guess, which look like the hero of the Soviet Union. So this guy must have been quite brave in combat and performed some heroic feats. Okay, so the next figure is a Soviet medic. The Soviet Red Army in the Second World War was very well known for the large number of female medics it had in its ranks. Unlike other armies at the time, the Soviet Union actually allowed women into frontline combat roles. So, yes. As you can see, she's carrying the medical bag with her bandages and stuff. And pistol again. Yes, so also no particular mold lines here, just between the boot and the base, easily removed again, and some minor mold lines on her beret. Okay, so another miniature, last one. I believe this is the bonus one added in by Warlord Games, which is quite cool, is again a woman. Not something that you encounter in a lot of bolt action sets. So yeah, this one I believe represents a wireless operator. I guess it can be used as a spotter or as an objective marker or whatever you like. Just a cool addition to your army. Anyway, she's got a sort of a radio field telephone. She's sort of communicating through the phone. So she's wearing a helmet. Yes, so if you want to add some, I guess, add some gender diversity to your Soviet Red Army, this would be the set to get. Yeah. Now we should really compare the size of these miniatures and how they compare to the Warlord Games plastic Soviet infantry. Because what I've noticed is the metal miniatures that Warlord Games does are often smaller in scale slightly than the plastic ones, and that often doesn't look very good when you have I guess them all on the tabletop and you have some really small ones and some bigger ones, and you know the difference in size really is noticeable. So let's compare to just a normal Winter Soviet that I have here from the plastic box set. Just compare it to this guy. Okay, there is no problems with scale here. All seem very similar in size, height-wise. Sort of, yeah. Plastic one is a bit more chunky, but not really that much more noticeable. Not that noticeable. Okay, and with this one, yep, he is around the same size. That's good. These ones are a little bit smaller, but I guess that's okay. It's an exception. Yep, very good miniatures. So yeah. So let's glue them to the base and see how they look. I'll be back once they are glued to the base, so stay tuned. Here they are glued to their bases with super glue, ready to be primed, painted, based, and sent off to command my Soviet army. I'd like to conclude that the miniatures are very well sculpted. As I said earlier, very minimal flash, very minimal mold lines, great sculpts, great impression, good scale, very dynamic poses. I like them a lot, and I would recommend them to any bolt-action Soviet commander. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it helped you in some way. If you enjoyed it, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Stay tuned for similar future content.